How's it going, Drift Wizards? Happy Friday. Today I'm going to bring you a little bit longer of a video. I'm going to show you how I would go about tuning up a drift car for the very first time. So far, I've just installed the mods I wanted on the car. I got it all painted up. Here you can kind of see what we're going for. Another car of mine that I'm keeping at an A700 class. We've got 560 horsepower with 465 foot-pounds of torque. We did a little bit of weight reduction to bring it down under 3,000 pounds. We obviously upgraded the camshaft as far as we can go. We kept it twin turboed. We didn't upgrade the turbos, but we did leave it stock. It is still just twin turbo. A bunch of other supporting mods, flywheel, all that kind of stuff here. That's not too important. I'm going to have the share code available in the description, and I'll also include it towards the end of the video when I'm done with the tune and we've got it somewhere that I think is a good place to share it. Race brakes for brake tuning, drift springs, race sway bars, no chassis reinforcement. Again, just a little bit of weight reduction. We didn't go all out. That would have pushed us over our A-class limit that we imposed on ourselves. Clutch all the way upgraded. We've got a drift transmission, driveline all the way upgraded, and a drift differential. This is another build that has a little bit more horsepower, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the drift tires. If I feel like I'm too stuck to the road, I'm having a hard time keeping big swooping slides, maybe we will transition over to the snow tire, which is kind of nice, gives us a little bit more headroom. Could do some more tweaks there. We did upgrade the front tire tread width. We went from the 235s to the 245s. The rears are stock at 255. The diameter is stock. Got a little bit of some body kit stuff going on here. None of that really matters. If you end up liking this longer form video where I explain why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, let me know in the comments below. Some of the other videos I've done on the drift tunes just kind of briefly gloss over the upgrades in the tune and then give you the share code so you can try it out for yourself. So it's kind of the difference between the two. Definitely let me know. All right, so starting out here, we have the car is completely stock tuned. We just have our upgrades on it. I haven't changed anything in the tuning menu, which means our differential isn't even locked yet. So let's just see how the car feels. Okay. It already feels, yeah, this car naturally just drifts well. So we don't need to we probably won't need to do anything too crazy. When you start out with a car that has a canvas that's kind of nice already, let's take it to a zone, and then that way we can kind of weigh it. I really like the inner city drift zone, the inner city run. It's short, it's sweet, it's really repeatable. There's that double apex turn that I think helps you work out like the proper gearing in whatever, usually it's third gear, but to get the proper torque in it. Oh, look, another Supra. See that corner right there. So yeah, we can do some stuff here. Let's see here. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do here is lock up the differential for when we are accelerating, and then I'm going to lock up when we are decelerating. I want it to be both wheels locked at all points in time, and then that way it's the most consistent when I'm on or off the throttle. Let's start there and see how it changed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it already feels a lot more slippery. Okay, it feels good. The gearing on this also, stock, seems pretty decent. Do one more pass. I'm kind of trying to hone in on the weight shifting of the car. I want to feel that first, and I want to work that out before we work out anything else. Yeah, gearing I think is going to be too low. Yeah, gearing is too low. We're having a hard time breaking traction in third. Let's get that ratio dialed in, and then that way we can test stuff. Gearing, we have a top speed of 215 miles an hour. Don't need that. 170, let's bring it down. Let's try 4.0, let's see where that brings us. 157, let's start here. We could always raise the gearing up more. There's third gear. Let's dump the clutch. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. think we could raise the gearing just a little bit more. I want just a little more torque in third gear at that lower speed. 150, I think that'll be a good place to start. Okay, so the car definitely feels like it wants to be straight still. You can obviously throw the e-brake, you can weight shift, you can get the car to turn and stay in it. Like it's not like it doesn't drift. The feedback the car is giving me while we are in a slide is that it wants to right itself. So I kind of want to correct that. And so my train of thought and how I approach this is that like the springs, all of my vertical movement and that type of shifting, I'm going to leave stock until the end. And I want to just work with the way that we could feel the car shifting it, like its weight on like on a lateral axis, I guess. So we're going to worry about roll bars first. Generally, I like to keep a stiff front end. So so the front will want to kind of turn in a little harder, and a softer rear end. I could feel it kind of bite into the ground when we do initiate. Let's see here. I don't think the car was turning in sluggish, so I don't really want to stiffen the front anymore, make it more twitchy. I want it to be predictable. That's going to be the theme of all of my builds, is I want consistent, predictable, and I guess assertive. I don't know a better way to describe it. Like I want the car to react when you want it, when you tell it to. I don't want it to kind of have any kind of delay. Twitchy cars are annoying and sluggish cars are annoying. So let's soften up the rear pretty drastically and let's see how this feels. We're just going to kind of work with 1 or 2 variables at a time. Let's start here. I'm more interested in the ratio between how stiff the front is and how loose the back is. That's what I'm thinking about most here. It's kind of an arbitrary amount. It's more just the difference between the two. And then if I think the front isn't turning in as aggressive as I want it to, I might stiffen it. If it's like over correcting and turning in a lot and I have to like fight the car and catch it a lot more than I think I should, I might soften up the front a little bit. So let's just start here with a big rear sway bar change and let's see how that goes. Oh boy, we're righting. Okay. Not the end of the world, but what the hell? We got monster truck drifting happening. Okay, immediately I already feel like I can really feel the weight of this car shifting. Oh yeah, this feels like it's in a really great place already. Let's do a couple more passes. Kind of really get a good feel. That was our fault. That was bad transition. Okay, so what I can already tell is that the way this car is set up, which is still mostly from the factory here, is that once you get it into that angle, whatever degree it is when you are in that slide, the car feels like it wants to stay there. And that's kind of that predictable feeling that I was going after. You can flick into whatever corner you want and the car wants to hold it instead of fight you. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. I'm liking this a lot. Let's do one more pass. And I think the most important thing about when you are setting up a tune is knowing when to be done. I still want to play with the alignment on this car, but it doesn't need much. I mean, this is driving really well. We don't need to overdo it. I like how it's shifting the weight. I like how it's keeping that angle. Let's check out our alignment. So normally I start with just a touch of toe out in the front, and usually if I do 0.5 to 1.0 with toe out in the front, somewhere in this range, I'll typically do around double the toe in the rear. So if we're starting at like 0.5, I might go to like -1. Whereas if I was starting at like 0.7, I might go anywhere from like -1.3 to 1.4, whatever. It's not exact, but that's kind of like where I would start. And then caster on some cars is a really big deal. The last build I did was the Sylvia K, and it felt off at 7. And just backing that up to like 6.3 made the steering feel better. It made the car react better. So sometimes a subtle change can make a big difference. But let's not touch the caster yet. Let's just do that toe change and see if the car feels any different. I don't want to make it too slippery because I don't want to lose that feeling of how when you turn into a corner, the car wants to be there. We want to keep that. That felt great. It felt a little more loose when you tune the toe the way that we did. We're encouraging the car to want to slip more. That was our fault. Man, no matter how many laps I put down on this course, this feels wonderful. I want to check out what the caster is going to do to the car now. Normally, I would only back this down up to like 1 point. But I don't even want to go that aggressive. Let's start at like 6.3. And let's just see how the steering feels. It's a little tight. That 7.0 caster makes the car want to straighten out in a, like when you're going forward. Let's do another lap, because that felt amazing. We did, I mean, everything was right in that pass, but let's see if that was just a driving win or if that was a nice tweak with the caster. The steering seems to be more comfortable. It seems to be more predictable, but that's just typically how I drive with all my cars, is backed off the caster a little bit, so this is just probably what I'm used to. Yeah, I like this. This feels great. Okay, so I can feel the weight of the car moving when I'm transitioning, snapping from one side to another. I can tell what's happening. I can catch the car in pretty much the same spot every time, or at least I think I can. I feel like I have enough traction. If I felt like my rear end was too loose and it was just kicking out like crazy and holding extreme angles and I had to really fight to catch the car every time, I would back off the rear tire pressure slightly. Anywhere from, almost always, I have a softer rear tire, or in this case, it would be a lower rear tire pressure than I do a front tire pressure. And it's generally anywhere from like, I guess 1 to 10 PSI of a difference. So some cars, maybe I'll have like a 31, 32 front and a 21 or 22 rear. A different car might have like a 31 front or a 33 front, and then a rear might only be like 27 or 28. In this case, I don't really feel like we have to adjust it, but before we go to another track that has a longer, sweepy, like consistent turn, I just kind of want to feel what it's going to do. So the front end seems to be fine how it's holding. Let's just back the rear up a little bit, and let's see if we can notice any difference or if we're just over-tuning because it's there. Having that extra grip in the back does feel kind of nice. It feels even more stable. The car felt planted when we were sliding. Now it feels that little bit extra. It's like it's dialed in just a little more. Try again. That might be even just a little bit too much. I think it might even just be a little bit too much grip in the back. We were at 32, we went to 28. Let's split the difference at 30. I think that feels a little better. Stay in second for the entry. Oh, that's wide. Okay, that's me. Let's manji this corner. Do one more pass. I don't think it's changing too much. I think we were fine where it was by default, so let's just keep it there. The weight transfer of the car, I can't really tell a difference right now if it needs more or any less, so I don't think we really need to change the springs or the dampening in this one. I do want to adjust my brakes. I always adjust them forward, and I back off the pressure slightly. This just helps you kind of tuck the nose in on a longer corner. Instead of doing more or less with your foot or I'm sorry, with your throttle or your hands, you can kind of just tap the brake a little bit and that'll pull your nose into the corner a little bit. It'll also slow you down enough that if you are riding with a buddy, like tandem stuff, you can kind of get up on his door and slow down consistently to not just crash into him. So that's always good. I believe the tow inputs and the caster inputs we did are fine. I don't think we need to touch camber at all. This car is driving and feels great. The gearing seems to be great in this position. Let's take it to something that's a little bit longer of a turn, and let's see if everything that we're doing here remains consistent there. All right, let's try the uphill and then we'll try the downhill. Yeah, there we go. See that? It didn't want to enter. Aha! So the longer sweepy guy did not want to go. Let's try the downhill. Let's get up top. It is so frustrating how it just doesn't start the zone sometime. Yeah, it wants to straighten out a lot. Okay, all right. So on the tighter course, this car's driving really, really nice. But on these guys, I am struggling. Doing a little bit of left foot braking to keep the nose pulled into the corner. That's helping. But no, okay, all right, so yeah, we are not done. Let's keep tweaking. We want to kind of well-balanced. We want to be able to do everything okay. Sometimes that's not exactly possible, but there's more we can do, so let's see what we can do here. Let's try taking the toe front out a little bit more and the toe rear in a little bit more. Let's start there. Let's not change too many things at once. I have other ideas. You know what this could possibly be? This could be a gearing thing. I'm struggling to keep the tires spinning. Let's up this a little bit. Take that down to 140. Let's try that again from the uphill. This is a very hard thing to do on the car, especially because we're not an insane amount of power. Going uphill and keeping it sideways like that is an ask. Oh, this already feels loads better going the downhill. Until you get crushed by a car, or two, or three. Man, there's a ton of traffic out right now. I'm hoping that alignment change is gonna help us hit that angle and keep it on a wider turn for longer. Oh. Yeah, it's making a little bit of a difference. I think the gearing is what's helping the most here. Being able to keep the back end loose with my foot down is what saved that. All right, let's try it on the downhill now. Bring it out wider. Oh, not too wide, not too wide. Driver issue. This feels pretty good. Yeah, that felt a lot better. That felt a lot better. I want to try the uphill again, though. It seemed like it was good the first go around. That was just a driver issue. which is a driver issue a second time. Try again. I have another idea here. Because it feels way better. It feels way better. But it still feels like there's something that we could do that makes this, that's gonna take it from being a fine drift car, it's okay, it's usable, you could totally 3-star whatever the hell you want in this, to something that's just fun to go out and drive in. And I think what's still pushing us to want to straighten out in these longer sweeps could possibly be the differential. And so what I think might be happening is that while having a fully locked acceleration and deceleration, when we are modulating the throttle, no matter where our throttle position is, the rear tires are completely locked. And so when you're in a turn, the inside wheel wants to spin slower than the outside wheel. And when they're spinning at the same speed, you're fighting against that sideways motion and it wants to straighten the car out again. It's going to make it feel really safe, but in some instances, like what our car currently feels like, I think it might be doing too much and it's pushing us straight constantly. Where I'm putting my throttle position anywhere from to the floor at 100% to backed off slightly, I don't know. Maybe let's try a 70% deceleration. That way it might allow our inner tire to spin slightly slower than the outside tire in a turn when I am backing off the throttle a little bit. Let's see if that helps us or if it's even noticeable. I think we're gonna feel it more on the uphill than anything, but okay, whatever. These drift zones. I just hope I don't eat a car coming up. I'm trying to stay inside in case a car comes. Okay, all right. That differential change there on the uphill felt wonderful. Or on the downhill, I mean. Let's try it on the uphill now. Oop.
In 400 yards, you will arrive at your destination.
Okay, all right. I need another test of that. A lot of testing. There we go, we're in that pocket. Yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. One more uphill. I can feel there's more I want done to this car.
In 400 yards, you will arrive at your destination.
See, there's still a consistent... The car wants to straighten out. Yeah. Still wants to straighten out. We did not fix it with the differential. Let's look. What else can we do here to get our goal done? Let's try backing off the negative front camber. And let's see how that feels. Okay, the downhill felt good. Uphill time.
In 400 yards, you will arrive at your destination.
Okay. Felt like we made a little bit of a difference there. Maybe it is time now to look at our springs. Let's try softening up the front spring. Let's see if that's going to help, maybe a little bit more than a tad. Let's see if that's going to help the car feel any different in the sense of how it wants to straighten out on us when we're sliding. This drift zone's ridiculous. Yeah, okay, all right. Bam.
In 400 yards, you will arrive at your destination.
Driver error. The way she goes, guys, we ain't perfect. We'll do another down and up before we get a say on that. Yeah, I'm still not in love with it. Maybe it's the drift tires. Maybe I'm wanting to feel the loose slidiness of the snow tire on this car. Yeah, that is just, I haven't gotten that turn a single time yet. The entry of this. This definitely doesn't feel bad. This is usable. It's much better than when we started.
400 yards, you will arrive at your destination.
As long as you're proactive with the counter steer, this is gonna work for you big time. Yeah, this is good. Let's throw on the snow tires, and I want to feel how much it changes. Tire compound. Snow. Let's go give it a try. I don't want to add anything else to the car just yet. Okay, so snow tires are on, stock pressure, everything else that we've tuned is the same. He's definitely a lot slicker, without a doubt. But this is, it feels so much more predictable even though it's more slick. I think this is our answer on this particular car. That feels great. That felt amazing. Let's try the downhill. I do think I want a little bit more grip in the back. I think it's just, we've overcorrected, and that should be easy. We should be able to just soften that up, and I believe we could soften up the front just a touch. Let's try here. Yes, it is. That was immediately the right correction. The drift tires, I think what would have helped the drift tire setup on this car would be if we could have put thinner tire track widths on this car. Smallest fronts you could do, I believe, were 235s, that's stock. And then in the rear, it's 255. I think if we did go up to like an S1 class drift car, I think drift tires would have been perfect for this, because that extra horsepower would have been able to keep us braking traction at the drop of a hat. I think because we are just a little bit lighter, even though we're still 580, or we're probably going to be about 600 horsepower once we finish out the rest of the tunes, get it up to 600 or 700A. It's going to feel how I want it to. I think this is it, though. This is great. I think the rest of our tunes support this very well. What do they say? The proof is in the tire compound? This feels wonderful. I don't think there's too much more I really want to do to it. The car holds the angle I want it to hold. One thing we did knock the camber down to -3.5, and this feels good. This car is drifting wonderful. I'm curious to know if we set this back to -5, how it feels with the snow tire, if I could tell it's different. Otherwise, we'll just go back to -3.5. That should be giving us more contact patch up front while we are in a corner like this, giving us a little bit more control. I don't know if it's a placebo or not. I feel like I can move the front end over on command a little bit easier. That felt good. Let's do it uphill. I think we're about to wrap this up though, boys.
You will arrive at your destination.
Cool. All right, last thing I want to do is take it back to the inner city zone and just see how it feels on a slower, tighter transitional course. Let's just send it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This doesn't feel any worse. We've got the long sweeping corners down. We've got this slower, tighter course. Pull the brake. Clear that second apex. Oh yeah. I'd say this is a tune well done. This car feels great to drive. Take it around on the street for a little bit. The only downside to the snow tire is that you lose an immediate responsiveness. You've got to plan slightly ahead for it. So if you are just strictly cutting through traffic, I think the drift tire is still going to be better for you. And like we showed earlier, with that drift tire on, it was a joy in that transitional, shorter, like the inner city course. That worked really, really well. It was just when we had the longer sweeping arcs that I found it was kind of more difficult to sustain. But with the snow tire on it, we can kind of get best of both worlds. And then the only immediate downside is like weaving in and out of traffic like that is a little bit harder to do with the snow tire. So I guess that it depends. Depends on what your main focus is. If you're making content, you're trying to film street videos or whatever the hell you're doing, then maybe consider doing the drift tire. Here's a long sweeper. Oh, we're going so fast, could have been a fourth gear turn. Aha! One more thing to iron out. Fourth gear is useless. Let's not make that so long. Let's back it up just a touch. Or I guess technically increase it just a touch. Put that back down a little bit. That big old turn. Let's try them out. Okay. Oh yeah, cool. I'm gonna flip around and try that big old corner one more time. Okay, I think that's gonna do it. That was just me being shit. But yeah, we were able to keep the traction broke at that 90 plus mile an hour zone. This seems pretty good. I like this tune. We're gonna drive this car a lot more after this video. Oh yeah, this feels great. Takes a second to re-dial into the snow tire. The Sylvia K build I did utilized the drift tire, and that thing handles amazing. E-brake to clear it. Second gear. And shift. Yeah, this is great. Boys, I don't think you're going to be disappointed if you rebuild this to your liking, or just take the share code and try it as I post it. It's going to have snow tires on it if you download from my share code, so be ready for that. And then one more thing I want to demonstrate. I keep forgetting to show this off. The tunes that I build are compatible on controller and wheel. The steering wheel was taking back control from me. Like, this is great. Oh, yeah. A nice test that I like to do with the controller is to head over to the Horizon zone and just do that big donut around it. All right, let's check it out. I mean, it just holds. You can hit really big angles with the controller still. Oh yeah. Look at that. Keep her going. Perfect. One more thing we forgot to do. I want to go ahead and finish out the 700. We want to get to 700. So we're at 560 horsepower right now. We'll probably get just up over 600. Let's see what we can do. All right, we put a couple more mods back on it. We got it up to the 700 again. Now we're at about 670 horse. I'm gonna take it back through the course one more time, just make sure everything still feels how I expect it to feel. We get distracted, making sure that we're covering everything. I wanna make sure I'm thorough for you guys. I have a feeling our gearing can come down a little bit. Oh yeah, she's spicy now. That little extra push. I mean, this still handles... Yeah, this handles like a champ. I love it. Oh man, that feels great. I think we could turn our gearing down just a touch. Little smidgy poo. 4.42 is probably just a little high for this much power. Now let's bring it up to... Let's try 420. Maybe 410. I'm looking at top speed here. I'm trying to get a gauge by what that's increasing to. So 144, let's try this. 2 felt non-usable, and I like 2 being available for tight cornering, where 3 is kind of the main do everything. And then 4 is reserved for when we are just moving ass. We're gonna die here.
You will arrive at your destination.
Yeah, this is great. I want to find one big old corner just to see how it slides in 4th gear. Let's try this corner. I think we can get into 4th gear just to see if it will maintain traction loss. With more power, it absolutely should. I don't think we tuned the gearing low enough for that to change at all. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 4th gear definitely will lose your ass. We're going fast. That's 4th gear to get around that corner. When we're out on the street. Can we squeak through? Yes, we can. Downshift. Back up. Here's a long sweeper. Try this in 4th. Oh. I think it was just bad entry. There we go. Oh, hey, look where we're at, boys. Bring her down into 3rd. And a new PB to end it. How about that? Guys, this car feels amazing. I really hope you download this one and give it a try. All right, and so here's the final breakdown of the car. And here is our share code. So give this thing a download. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. And please share your feedback on if you like the longer video where I am trying my best to explain why and how I go about the decisions I make when making a drift tune, instead of just kind of blazing through it and giving you a share code at the end. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoy this type of content, please leave me a like and subscribe. I'm going to keep making videos like this if you guys enjoy them. So thank you. Take care.